Hello, adventurers. Welcome back to Enjoy English Stories. I'm so glad you joined me today. Are you ready to step into a world of deep green, hidden mysteries, and wild sounds? Today, we are going deep into the largest tropical rainforest on Earth. We are traveling to the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. Get ready for the shadowing technique. This is a very powerful way to improve your English. You must speak with me. Try to match my speed, my rhythm, and most importantly, my excitement. Today's story is about Elena. She is a brave wildlife photographer who travels into the heart of the jungle to find a bird that most people believe is only a myth. Through her eyes, you will learn many beautiful words about nature, exotic animals, and the protection of our environment. Are you ready to hear the secrets of the jungle? Take a deep breath of tropical air, and let's go. My name is Elena. I am 30 years old, and my life is a constant search for beauty. I do not live in an office with grey walls and computer screens. I live in a world of high-definition cameras, long macro lenses, and endless green leaves. I am a professional wildlife photographer. To me, my office is the entire forest. My desk is often a mossy, foreland tree trunk. My ceiling is the massive, thick canopy of the giant Amazon trees that blocks out the sun. The Amazon is not just a forest, it is a living, breathing giant. It is a place of extremes. It is incredibly humid, making your skin feel damp every second. It is hot, with a heat that feels heavy and thick. Most of all, it is full of life in every single corner. When I sit still, I hear the constant, vibrating buzz of millions of insects. I hear the sudden, loud, and terrifying screams of howler monkeys high above me. I hear the rhythmic sound of the rain hitting the giant, waxy leaves, drip, drop, splash. The air smells like rich, wet earth and the sweet, heavy scent of tropical fruits I cannot name. It is a place where it is very easy to get lost, but it is also a place where you can truly find yourself. I came to the heart of Brazil with a very specific mission. For many decades, people in small river villages have told stories about the emerald macaw. It is described as a bird with feathers the color of deep, glowing green grass and a long, elegant tail that shines like polished gold in the sun. Most scientists in the big cities say the bird does not exist. They say it is just a legend, a story told to children. But I have a secret. I have an old, blurry photograph from my grandfather, who was also an explorer. The photo is yellow with age, but I can clearly see the flash of green wings. I know in my heart that the emerald macaw is real, and I am determined to show it to the world. To find a myth, you need a guide who knows the soul of the land. I hired a local man named Tiago. Tiago has lived near the great river all his life. He is a man of the water and the wood. He knows the name of every plant. He knows which colorful frogs are poisonous. He knows which snakes are dangerous and which wild fruits are sweet and safe to eat. Elena, he told me as we pushed our small wooden boat through the thick, dark green water of the tributary. The jungle is like a person. It only shows its secrets to those who are quiet and respectful. If you want to see the emerald macaw, you must stop being a tourist. You must learn to listen to the forest's breath. We traveled for 5 long, exhausting days. Every day was a challenge for my body and my mind. We slept in thin hammocks tied between trees under a ceiling of 1,000 stars. We ate fresh fish caught directly from the river. We walked through thick, black mud that was often as deep as my knees. Step, sink, pull. Step, sink, pull. My clothes were always wet from the humidity and the rain. boots were heavy and covered in clay. I was covered in red mosquito bites that burned like fire. But I did not complain. I did not care about the discomfort. I wanted that photograph. I wanted to prove that magic still exists in the world. On the 6th day, the forest began to change. We reached a hidden area that Tiago called the Hidden Valley. It was a place of ancient power. The trees here were so tall and so thick that their tops seemed to touch the white clouds. There was a giant waterfall that fell from a high cliff, looking like a long, beautiful curtain of white silk. The sound of the falling water was like a constant, low thunder. Tiago suddenly stopped walking. He put his finger to his lips, signaling for silence. He pointed his hand toward a high, sunlit branch on a massive sabre tree. "Look," he whispered, his voice full of awe. I slowly lifted my camera. I looked through my long lens, my heart beating fast against my ribs. At first, I saw nothing but leaves. But then, something moved. It opened its magnificent wings. It was the emerald macaw. It was more beautiful, more vibrant, and more majestic than any legend I had ever heard. Its feathers were a brilliant, glowing green that seemed to change color in the light. Its eyes were like polished black pearls, full of ancient intelligence. It looked directly at me through the lens, and in that moment, I felt a deep, spiritual connection to the ancient spirit of the jungle. I finally had my proof. My finger was on the shutter button, ready to take the most important photo of my life. Suddenly, the piece was shattered. I heard a loud, sharp, metallic sound. Clang! Clang! It was the sound of iron and cold intentions. It was the sound of a trap. Just 50 meters away, a small, young macaw, a baby, was caught in a heavy net on the muddy ground. It was crying with a high, heartbreaking sound. It was struggling, its little green wings beating desperately against the ropes. I saw 2 men coming through the thick bushes. They were not explorers. They were not scientists. They were bird poachers. They wanted to catch these rare, beautiful birds and sell them for thousands of dollars to people who want exotic pets in cages. They did not care about the forest. They did not care about the balance of nature. They did not care about the soul of the Amazon. They only saw money where I saw life. I was terrified. They had tools and they looked dangerous. But I was also filled with a burning anger I had never felt before. "We have to do something, Tiago," I whispered, my voice trembling. "We cannot let them take that bird." "We are only 2 people, and they are armed," Tiago said quietly, his eyes dark with worry. "But we have the jungle on our side. The forest knows who its friends are." Tiago closed his eyes and made a sound, a loud, high-pitched, and very specific whistle. It was a call I had never heard before. Suddenly, as if in response, the forest exploded with a symphony of noise. High above us, hundreds of monkeys began to scream and shake the branches of the trees. Thousands of birds of all colors began to fly in circles, flapping their wings and making a deafening sound. It was a symphony of chaos. The poachers stopped in their tracks. They looked up at the sky, their faces pale with fear. They thought a jaguar was attacking, or perhaps the spirits of the forest were angry. They were terrified by the power of the nature they tried to steal from. They dropped their heavy nets, turned around, and ran away as fast as they could into the thick trees. I did not wait a second. I ran to the trap. I ignored the mud and the thorns. I reached the young macaw and used my sharp camping knife to cut the thick ropes of the net. The young bird looked at me for a second, its heart beating fast. Then, with a loud cry of joy, it flew up, up, up to the high branch of the sabre tree. It sat safely next to its mother. They looked down at Tiago and me for a long moment, their green feathers glowing in the sun, and then they disappeared together into the endless green sky. I looked down at my camera. It was lying in the mud. The lens was dirty. I had not taken a single professional photo of the emerald macaw that day. I had no proof for the scientists in the city. But as I looked at the empty net on the ground, I realized that I didn't need a photo. The image of those green wings flying free was perfectly clear in my mind and in my heart. I realized that my job as a photographer was not just to take pictures of nature to show people, it was to use my voice and my life to protect it. Now, I still travel, but my mission has changed. I work closely with Tiago and the local indigenous communities. Together, we have created a protected area in the Hidden Valley. We teach people around the world that a bird like the emerald macaw is worth more in the free sky than in a gold cage. I am a learner, and I learned that the most beautiful things in the world are not things you can own or put in a frame. They are the things you must fight to keep free. What a powerful and green adventure! Eleanor saved the emerald of the jungle and found a new purpose for her life. Did you feel the humidity of the Amazon? Did you hear the symphony of chaos from the animals? Now, it is time for the most important part. The shadowing practice. Go back to the beginning of the story and repeat every word with me. Pay very close attention to the words environment, canopy, vibrant, and connection. This story is full of descriptive adjectives, so practice your emotion and your flow. Also, practice the R sounds in words like rainforest, macaw, and emerald. If you believe that we must protect our beautiful planet, please give this video a like. Subscribe to Enjoy English Stories and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new journey. Tell us in the comments. What is your favorite wild animal? And have you ever been to a jungle or a large forest? I love hearing your stories and reading your thoughts. Thank you for practicing your English with me today. You are doing a great job, and remember, nature is the best teacher. See you in the next adventure. Goodbye.